Hi everyone, welcome to All Four Queens 555, all about spiritual warfare, healing and awakening. We find as we awaken, we open our eyes to the world around us, and whilst we're awakening and ascending, it opens the door for a lot of things that we've subliminally known subconsciously, but never really had the facts for it, of things that have been going on around us. And obviously you've seen, if you've been watching my channel, some of the abuse and bullying that I've gone through on the physical realm, but also it would have been spiritually, which obviously you can't see. Although it's not been a nice experience, God doesn't do things that we can't handle, and there's always a greater meaning to it, isn't there? If we look at Joseph and what Joseph went through and the amount of lives he saved. So hopefully our experience, my experience, will open up eyes and help the world see what we've been doing and redirect and rechange course and things like that. So as much as it's not great, hence why I am very much about God, alignment to him, and I hope that a lot more people will understand why I believe God is the way, because we stay in the safe mode with the devil energy, but once we get out of that and we learn and we evolve, we move more into peace, and God is peace and love and everything else. I believe that is all lessons. It's all lessons. It's all of things that we need to learn to close out cycles and then to move on our path into peace. My perception and my belief, and I'll probably do a separate piece on it. But today's session, I just want to talk about ignorance and arrogance, because I was sitting there, I was thinking, what is the difference? And I'm going to try and start with the I'm aware of it. We know it's a tick. So if anybody wants to put in the comment how many times I do it, then at least it's going to help me to help myself. I'm okay with it. It is what it is. So I wanted to know about ignorance and arrogance, and the reason being is because I think sometimes we assume the worst, and it says do not judge or you shall be judged, but we assume the worst, and we sometimes think people have got things because this narcissism is a big thing and all sorts of things. And I just want to touch on it a little bit, because I do think that sometimes we assume the worst about things and sometimes it isn't what we actually believe it to be, hence why discernment is so important in what we do. And I'm going to say now, I've got someone pulling on me, so I am going to say, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke all negative energy, and I ask that all negative energy is rebuked in the name of Jesus, because they use the screen. So you can see I'm going a bit red, and I'm keeping it real because I want people to see what is actually going on in real time, because I'm starting to get a bit hot now because they use a screen. And I said before, the practitioner said when she did a cleanse, be mindful of your screens and cleanse them, because they actually use your screens to send negative energy, and that's exactly what they've just done a minute ago. So I'm getting a bit hot now. So yes, I always wanted to talk about ignorance and arrogance, because sometimes we believe things about people and it may not be true, but because we've got our own beliefs and we haven't expanded, we think something more than what it actually is. Now, we also know with narcissism, I believe it's a demonic spirit, but that's my take on it. But I also think that people who hang around people with a lot of those spirits sometimes attract the behaviours. They're not necessarily narcissistic, they just attract the behaviours. And so I'm not a medical expert, it's just things that I've experienced in my life, especially working and running lots of departments with various people. But if you do want to get more into it, or you feel you need the support, then please reach out to the practitioners and people in the medical field that can help you with that. So let's get onto it. Ignorance and arrogance. Ignorance is simply a lack of knowledge or information. Arrogance is an inflated sense of self-importance that makes someone act as though they know everything and are better than others. Superiority complex, I've put. The main difference is that ignorance can be cured by learning, while arrogance rejects correction. Have you ever been around somebody that you give feedback, constructive feedback as you would expect it, and then they attack you straight away with anger? Core definitions, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Ignorance, not knowing, is a blame space blank space in a person's education or awareness. Anyone can be ignorant about a topic they have not studied yet. Arrogance, an attitude of pride and superiority. It is an emotional or mental stance where a person thinks they are too important to listen to others. Key differences: ability to learn. An ignorant person can learn new facts when taught. An arrogant person refuses to listen to learn because they think they are already right. And I got that from YouTube Learn Easy English. Awareness: an ignorant person often doesn't know they are missing facts. Sorry, am I writing? I scribble. If you're ever into this, you scribble a lot. Are missing facts. An arrogant person aggressively pushes their own views while looking down on others. The link between them, ignorance, can lead to arrogance. When people do not know much, they sometimes alternate their own skills and become ignorant. Right, I want to read that, and I'm sorry about that because I can't read my own mind sometimes because I scribble so fast and I need to slow down, and that's another one of the things I need to work on. But when you download and you do that, and you'll see that on a lot of other readers. From a coaching perspective, I wanted to just touch on that because when we talk about ignorance and we talk about arrogance, the other part to that is we don't know what people's lives have been like. And that's why coaching comes in, because it helps people to see their 360 blind spot, for a better word, where we don't know what they've been through in life, and we don't know why they adopt this superiority complex, and we don't know why they become ignorant or arrogant. And it could be because they adopt that to feel safe. We don't know why they do it and why they have to feel important, or they've been spoiled maybe, or entitled, or we don't know what they've gone through, and we never know somebody else's battle. But for me, awareness is key, because you can't change unless you know what you need to change, or you need to look at, like my for instance. I wasn't aware of it as much as I've noticed it when I've looked at recordings, but the earlier ones wasn't there. But when you've gone through the amount of bullying and abuse that I have, maybe from a child point of view, it came back in some of the recordings as a safety mechanism for me. Or was I holding space? Probably. Or is it a tick? Not that it doesn't make any difference to me, because it's part of who I am, but it's always good to be aware of these things, isn't it? Because so that you can always make sure somebody else is aware of it too. And I think for me, that's the whole point about the world, is being aware of who we are to be able to say to others, this is a bit about me, and not be embarrassed by it. Because if you are arrogant and you know why you're arrogant, it's a start to the healing journey of being aware of it, like the isn't it? And that's where coaching comes in, I believe, because sometimes we don't see what is our makeup. We only see what we're operating with, and we don't go deeper. And coaching helps you to go in and look at the things and look at it in a different way, because that's what the coach is there for, to just reflect and maybe get you to consider something in a different way than you've ever looked at it before. It's always an option, isn't it? So I hope that helps, because we tend to walk around with our blinkers thinking that the world is the way it is, and we don't know other people's battles. And if you look on the bullying campaign, I say, no one knows what battles other people are fighting or have fought. And maybe they haven't actually fought it, they're just holding on to old residue, pain and suffering, because they've not been able to release it, and it comes out in their everyday life, in their adult life as well. So we don't know. So I'm hoping that helps someone, even if it helps one person just look at something in a different way, then I'm here to do my job. And I hope that helps. Sending you much love and light and lots of healing, and I'll see you in the next one.